Okay, so this next example is going to be number 22 in the ILM. So we're just going to kind of go over maybe a little bit more of a difficult one. I wanted to talk about quickly the ILM is kind of set up. So the answers are on the right column. So you want to cover those up as much as possible. It's easy to kind of look over there and see the answers. So try and cover those up when you're doing these. So yeah, this is number 22 and we'll go over this. Same steps as the previous video. So we're going to always start with our compass or ISO compass. So I'm going to put that in north, south, west, east, up, down. Then I'm going to put in my orthographic plan view compass. Again, only to use with the plan view. And if we want, we can put in our front and right side views compasses. So up, down, front, and right. We could label these as well. Plan/top, front, and right. Okay, so keeping the same sequence, we're going to start with the plan/top view. Step one, you can draw your person in again if you want. That doesn't hurt. Looking down, but again, I don't think it's necessary for plan. We have this starting point here, this starting point here, and this starting point here. Okay, which one would you go with? I would go with this one. Again, if we're looking down on this isometric, this would be the closest to the viewer. Okay, this would be the closest to us looking down because all of this would be going further away from us. So if we had an elevation here, all of this pipe right here would be at a lower elevation. So if we're looking down on something, this part of the pipe would be the closest to us. So I'm going to start right here. So I'm just going to erase that. Drawing from the plan, we're going to start right here. And what do we see there? We see the open end of a pipe. We can see directly in there. So I know sometimes it's a little confusing with the stick man, but just imagine they're way up high and they're looking straight down in here. All we're going to see is the open end of a pipe. So again, I'm going to draw an open end of a pipe. Okay. So we do not see this pipe because it's hidden behind that open end of a pipe. Okay. So we do see this line right here. And what direction is that going with our isometric compass? It's going east to west. So we're going to go over here and we're going to do an east to west line. That covers this line. At that point right there, we see that we have a T. Okay, so at that point that we finished off, which is right here, part of the line goes south to north. That would be this. So we go over here and we draw south to north, which is just up. Okay, so we go south to north. And that takes care of this line. And now we need to draw this line over here. So going back from that T spot, okay, which is again right here, we're going to draw a line going north to south. Okay, so from right here, north to south is just going to look just like that. Okay. So now we have to figure out, our last step is always going to be making sure our fitting lines are correct. So which fitting lines do we not see? We do not see this one. So we're going to see 1, 2, 3, and 4 fitting lines. So let's draw them in. Over here, we do not see this one, but we do see this fitting line right here. So we're just going to draw a fitting line, and it's going to look like that. Over here, if we look over here, we see everything on the T. If it's a threaded T, we would see all ends of the T. So if we go over here, this line is horizontal. So on this one right here, we're going to have a horizontal fitting line there and a horizontal fitting line there. This is vertical, so this fitting line is going to be the same as this vertical line here. And that should cover the plan view. Next up, we are going to put in the front side. So you notice a pattern here. I always kind of go with the same steps. It just keeps me in a habit. Okay, so I always start with the plan, and then I go front, and then I go right. But again, if you find it easier to start on right and then plan or front, however you want to get the answer is completely up to you. Okay, so doing the front view, that would be looking this way. So we're going to draw our stick person in here. And again, see, now we have where we don't have a box that's obvious. We don't have this box. Okay, ooh, maybe I'll draw that a little better. Okay, but we want to be parallel to this line, which is also this line right here, or on the same plane. So I draw this, the arms like that, put my left and right, and my nose indicating which way I'm looking. So A, B, and C. This is kind of, again, a pivotal spot. Which one are we going to pick? If we're standing here, which end is closest to us? B. Okay, this would be the closest point to us. Everything else is further away. From this point on, everything is further away. Okay, so we're going to go with B. So let's start right here. Okay, and what do we see there? Very similar to when we were plan view looking down, we see the open end of a pipe because we're looking from this direction. So we see an open end of a pipe. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw an open end of a pipe, which is a circle with a dot. So I do not see any of this. Okay, but I do see this line going this way. And which way is that? Well, according to our arms, it's left to right. So, well, I don't know why I put F there. That should be L. Okay, so left to right looks like this. Okay, so now that covers this line right here. And then what direction does it go? It goes up again. So we're just going to draw that. Okay. Which fitting lines do we see? Well, we don't see this one and we don't see this one. Okay, we don't see either of those because it's blocked out by this. So we do see this one and we see the 90. So we're only going to have 3 fitting lines. So going over here, we have a fitting line like this, parallel to this vertical pipe. And then another fitting line right here and another fitting line right here. This line is parallel to this. This one is vertical and it's parallel to this one. So that takes care of our front view. Okay, change the color. Okay, again, 3 starting points, A, B, and C. Which one would you start at if we're standing here looking this direction? A, B, or C? We should draw in our stickman again. Keep doing that. The arms have to be parallel. In this case, we want it parallel to this line here, which is also this direction right there. So if we just draw in our arm like this at a 30 degree, put in our right, left and right in a direction. So we're going to want to start at A. That's going to be the closest to us, okay? Because it goes like this and then it goes away. So all this pipe is further away from us. So we're going to go ahead and erase that. And we're going to start right here. And what do we have going here? What's going on with this pipe? That's right. It's going down. Okay. And then what happens here? What do we have here? We have a pipe. If we're standing here, we have an elbow and pipe going away from us. So we're going to go ahead and put in our symbol for the back of an elbow or the back of a fitting. Okay. So we do not see this. Okay. But if we're standing over here and we're far enough back, we still will see this going to the left and we still will see this going to the right. Okay. So to the left and to the right. So from our elbow right here, that's going to look like this. And we're just going to go ahead and put a line indicating this right here going to the left. And then a line like this going to the right. It's important not to put this line through because that's a completely different symbol, right? That would be the back of something. But we don't see that. We just see it, if we're far enough back, we just see this line connecting to this back of this elbow. So what fitting lines do we see as our last step? Well, we see this one, we do not see this one, and we do not see this one. So we see 1, 2, 3. We see those 3 fitting lines. Excuse me. So we're going to put in a fitting line parallel to this line, a fitting line parallel to this line, and a fitting line parallel to this line. And that should cover it.